One of the chief complaints with the first Zend framework was that it was too complex. Well, it still has a learning curve, but like a lot of frameworks, it might be worth it in the long run. There's a lot of flexibility in the new architecture of Zend Framework 2, as well as tools to help you get started. To get started understanding how Zend works, let's look at some of the main elements in a Zend application. Zend has a couple of tools to help you dive in. The Zend skeleton application is available on GitHub, and it's a good starting point. We'll look at that when we get into the code walkthrough. The ZF tool command line interface gives you shortcuts to create projects and modules and do a number of other tasks. The Zend framework has modules at the core of it. These are a subset of application elements. Zend Framework 2 allows for more autonomous modules with self-configuration elements, but you can override them all at the application level if you wish to. This is really the core of a Zend application. In fact, when you're writing applications in Zend, most of the time you're writing code for modules. In the classic MVC sense, Zend controllers are core PHP classes that handle dispatching actions and then delivering views. In some instances, those views might actually be REST data. Zend uses routing to determine your URL pattern and map it to a specific controller. Zend supports autoloading in the classic PSR standard, PSR 0. There are a number of view components that you can use to pass data to views, determine resolvers and renderers. There are these objects called view models, which sounds like a conflict in terms, and there's also view classes. Their whole view implementation is a little strange in terms of comparing it to other frameworks. However, it's very granular and very scalable. Zend Framework 2 brings a number of new constructs. One of the criticisms of Zend Framework 1 was that there's no specific model implementation. That, however, remains the same. Although an advantage of that is that you can use Doctrine or some other ORM if you prefer to. In Zend 2, they now support dependency injection. This is a common pattern these days, and it's used in a lot of other places, including Google's popular Angular JavaScript framework. Basically how it works, if one object requires another object to perform some functionality, you pass that object at instantiation instead of inside the object. This makes it much easier to pass in dummy dependencies when you're doing unit testing. Zend Framework 2 now also supports events, so you can create listeners that will listen for events to happen in different parts of the Zend lifecycle. For example, during the routing process or after a controller is rendered. You can then broadcast these events at will within your applications. Overall, the Zend framework is an object-oriented ad hoc framework that allows you to pick and choose both which libraries you wish to use and how to structure entire aspects of your application, including the model layer. Zend Framework 2 has enhanced the framework to support events and dependency injections, among other things. In order to better understand what's available in this framework, it's a good idea to learn what components are available, which sounds like a great next step.